Jackson Family Wines. We're a family-owned company. My father founded the business in 1982. So sustainability for us really means being good land stewards and taking care of our land for the long term and our business and our people, and being good neighbors, and making sure that we're using resources wisely.
My name is Julien Gervreau. I'm the Sustainability Manager at Jackson Family Wines.
Julien, particularly in light of the recent drought in California, we know that water is a big issue for agriculture, big issue for the wine industry. How is Jackson Family Wines dealing with this water issue sustainably?
Yeah, well, we're a land-based company first and foremost, so farming and vineyard operations are key for our organization and for our bottom line. And with regard to water, we've actually been proactively managing our water resources since the early 1990s, when we installed drip irrigation systems in all of our vineyards throughout the state, well before, when many of our counterparts were using overhead sprinklers to irrigate. And in the years since, we've been implementing a lot of technology with different technology partners to monitor soil moisture levels rather than just irrigating because it's Tuesday at 2 p.m. and that's what the irrigation schedule says. It's actually using the technology to tell us, to let the soil and let the plant tell us when we need to irrigate. And we're also doing some other technology trials where we're actually monitoring sap levels in a plant and understanding, using that sap flow as a threshold to tell us when to water, so that the plant lets us know when it's thirsty rather than us telling that. And the interesting thing here is there's an incredible tie to quality with all of this water work that we're doing, because if you overwater a grapevine, you'll get these berries that are fat and diluted, and the flavor gets diluted. And so the tie-in with water conservation and savings and quality is just reaping great rewards for us as an organization.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you measure that? I mean, the average vineyard uses X amount of water per acre. You're using this much less because of all these initiatives?
Yeah, I mean, that's really difficult to quantify. Agricultural, water use in agriculture is has traditionally been one of those areas where there hasn't been very much oversight. And Governor Brown actually just announced 2 weeks ago, I believe, that he wants to start monitoring groundwater withdrawals, and is going to be urging farmers and ranchers in the agricultural community to start monitoring and measuring how much water that they reduce and how much water that they actually use in growing their crops. What I can tell you is through some of these trials that we've been using, especially with the sap flow, we've been able to see about a 55% reduction in water use from a withdrawal perspective. So it's looking really promising. Obviously, the big challenge with water is, it's free, right? It comes from the ground, and people look at it as a renewable resource that they can withdraw whenever they want. And as you know, there's areas in the state that are actually sinking because of groundwater withdrawal. So really getting a handle on how much water that we're using and understanding what the sustainable levels are for agriculture and for humans and cities and agriculture to be able to coexist is first and foremost on our mind.
Great. So lots of progress on the water. Now, what about energy? Tell us a little bit about what the big energy footprint is in the wine industry. What are the big factors, and how are you guys doing how are you guys reducing that?
Sure. So starting in about 2008, we did full-scale energy audits through PG&E programs, and PG&E obviously has a lot of rebates and incentives out there for companies to reduce their energy. And beginning in about 2008, we started looking into ways in which we could reduce our energy. And some of the major, the biggest sources of uses of energy in the winery application is in lighting and refrigeration and heating and cooling, as well as pumps and air compressors. So in working in partnership with PG&E and some other third-party programs, we've actually been able to identify energy efficiency initiatives and put these into place that over the last 6 years, since 2008, we've actually realized about $15 million in energy efficiency savings as a result of energy efficiency. And the next step for us is really to take that money and reinvest it back in on-site renewable energy generation technology. So we're looking at solar, we're looking at cogen, and we're looking at ways in which we can continue to make better wine using, by reducing our footprint.